Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Hello, good Saturday evening, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Weekend Crew. I'm Dustin Klemann. We begin with Crime Watch. Police are still searching for a suspect who allegedly attacked two men at a Billings home early this morning. A victim was stabbed multiple times on the 500 block of Avenue B at a home next to Billings Senior High School parking lot. Police report the suspect entered the home through an open door and demanded property, and then he attacked the men with a knife. Both fought back before the suspect fled on foot. What we know right now is police could not provide details on the suspect other than he was wearing dark clothes. And one of the men who was attacked suffered serious injuries but is in stable condition at the hospital tonight. The other man suffered only minor injuries. Police, though, are still investigating. We'll be sure to follow that on KTVQ.com as well as on air. A two-vehicle crash injured an elderly man and knocked out power along Central Avenue this afternoon. That crash on Central and 15th Street West happened shortly after noon. A Ford Explorer driven by a 90-year-old man attempted to turn, striking a pickup. The crash created a chain reaction where the pickup then struck a power pole and a parked car nearby. The elderly driver was taken to the hospital for treatment of a leg injury. He was also cited in that crash. Northwestern Energy responded to repair downed power lines in the broken power pole. To national news, CBS News has confirmed the FBI is now helping the military investigate the death of 4 U.S. soldiers who were killed in an ambush in the African nation of Niger earlier this month. One of the fallen soldiers, who's at the center of a war of words between President Trump and a Florida congresswoman, was laid to rest today. Roxana Saberi has tonight's report.
Friends, family, and fellow soldiers honored Sergeant LaDavid Johnson as he was laid to rest in his home state of Florida on Saturday. His pregnant widow, Maisha, said goodbye one final time. Questions are growing over how 25-year-old Johnson and 3 other U.S. service members died in an attack in Niger on October 4th. Also, why Johnson's body was found almost a mile from the ambush site and how he became separated from his comrades. And it's unclear why his patrol had not expected enemy contact in a part of the country where this UN map shows 46 attacks took place over the last 20 months. On Friday, Defense Secretary James Mattis spoke to reporters after meeting with Senator John McCain, who has called for more details about the attack.
We can do better at communication. We can always improve on communication, and that's exactly what we'll do.
President Trump's efforts to console Johnson's widow launched a war of words with Florida Congresswoman Frederica Wilson.
He never called him a hero.
Look, I've called many people, and I would think that every one of them appreciated it.
In an interview set to air Sunday, the president insisted he said nothing wrong. Roxana Saberi, CBS News, New York.
Sergeant Johnson leaves behind his pregnant wife, a daughter, and son. Senior Republican senator says members of the Armed Service Committee will be briefed next week about that fatal attack. Before we go to break, we come back to Billings. Volunteers cleaning up a 4-mile stretch of the Billings Rims, just west of the airport at the Heights, as part of Refresh the Rims. It's an annual effort. Swords Park was a big part of the cleanup effort this morning. A lot of people bearing the winds to do their part. MSUB Outdoor Adventure Leadership students helped organize the cleanup and led the groups. This is the 5th year for the cleanup, and volunteers say they notice a difference from even just last year. Picking up the trash is important to many people, even including the kids.
I picked up trash, and I picked up wrappers.
It's nice to keep it clean because this is kind of a special area that we have in Billings to recreate in.
We've seen a reduction in the trash that we've picked up over the years, so that's fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic to see that reduction in trash.
This is one of the highest utilized parks, especially for repeat visitors. We found that it's the park that has the highest number of people who come, 25 times plus a year. So it gets a lot of regular use from people who enjoy it, but also, passers through to come see some of the history and kind of take in the scenery of the city too.
We appreciate the help. Approximately 150 people in 6 different groups helped with Refresh the Rims. Wade says this is the largest organized cleanup of the landmark itself. Coming up next on the Q2 530 News, a chance to stomp out pneumonia deaths. We'll tell you how they're doing it in medical news next. And later in sports, could Rocky sweep Carroll and keep their playoff hopes alive? Highlights from Pack the Bowl and Pink on the way. Over in the Weather Center, the wind didn't seem to bother him today. Rob Griggs, how are you?
No, just extra hairspray to keep everything in place. Yeah, the wind, boy, she's blowing out there. And we have high wind warnings on the way for much of Montana and northern Wyoming on Sunday. Hey, be sure to download your free Q2 Storm Tracker weather app, and we'll tackle that windy forecast in just a few minutes.
You're watching MTN News with Dustin Klemann. Storm Tracker weather with Rob Griggs. And sports with Casey Conlon. This is the 530 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.